Why, hello YouTube. This is BalorMage, and this is going to be our first review of the new, at least new to us, ARPG Undecember. Now, we're going to go over a few things in this video. First of all, I've played for about 60 to 70 hours so far, completely free to play. I have made it to endgame completely free to play. So we're going to go over what struggles we hit with that, where I think money would be appropriate to be spent, how much you can get away with being free to play. But we're also going to go over the incredibly bad monetization that exists there, and also what are secretly not as bad. There are some issues that are not as bad as other people are toting, and there are some issues that are worse than other people are saying. It took me quite a while to understand everything, so we're going to go through everything here. You can see in the background, the game looks smooth as butter. It is very nice. It is a monetization aside, without worrying about monetization in any way at all, the game itself as a base game is so good and so fun to play that it could even take some PoE players away. Not all of them. It's not a PoE killer, but it is so good that I could see some people swapping from PoE or other ARPGs to this for a while. It has an insane amount of hours that you can put in right now, a decent amount of complexity. No, not quite as much complexity as PoE has, and it's definitely a lot easier to get your head around most of the things. We will go through some of them. But overall, significantly more complex than any other ARPG other than PoE that I have ever played. So that's real interesting. Also, I did try out the game on my mobile phone. This is cross-platform and cross-progression. So a few days ago, I was in the middle of stream. I had a massive power outage. My computer went off, stream ended, and I was like, man, I really wanted to do the 2 raids, which, by the way, there are dungeons and raids, but we'll get to those later. I really want to do the 2 raids, and I jumped on my mobile phone, pulled it out, downloaded the game on my phone, and went and played the 2 raids on my phone, and even that went well, which was very shocking because I've never had a good experience playing games similar to this on my phone before. They always feel very clunky and very weird, and I'm not normally a phone gamer, but this game specifically worked really well on my phone, so that was really cool too. So we're going to start with the bad, the stuff that everybody is worried about. We're going to start with the monetization. This is very bad, very bad. Let's move into game and have a look. All right, so this is my character. It is an electric sentry build. The background music is on, and I'm going to leave it on because I think the background music is kind of cool. This is the endgame town that we're in. We're not going to worry too much about that right now. If there's enough interest, I might make a separate build guide almost for this character, but I did mostly make him up. However, he's been doing incredibly well, so I'm happy to share that. However, we're going to go straight into the monetization because a lot of it is bad. Some of it is not as bad. So this is the cash shop. It is a lot of money. There are a lot of things you can buy. You can buy pets that auto loot, stash tabs, generally stats and progression and power. Although the power that you can buy is raw power is relatively limited. So we do have a bunch of different packs at they're all regional pricings. So don't worry too much about the prices. Expect them all to be expensive, but in some places they're a lot cheaper than others. There are weekly bundles, all of this sort of stuff. But here are the 2 really big issues for me. One, these are the currencies right here: rune color, birth essence, and link essence. These are the ones that control your sockets and links essentially for your skills. And you can just outright buy these for money. So in the middle of Act 1, with an infinite style credit card, as long as you're willing to swipe enough, boom, every ability you have can be instantly 6 linkable. That is one of the two things that for me is over the line that makes it so that this would not be a permanent game for me ever. It's still been very fun, but it would never make it in a permanent game because of two specific things that just cross my personal line. This is one of them, and the second one is that you can buy exchange rubies for diamonds. So what you buy for currency is diamonds. And diamonds are the only things that you can use to buy stash tabs and expanded bag slots and your pet and all of those sort of things. You can only buy these for diamonds. So only cash can ever get you expanded bag slots, extra stash on your storage, all of that sort of things. Only cash. Almost all of the rest of it is bought in rubies, which seems okay because you can get rubies without paying, except you can also just one-to-one your diamonds straight into rubies. This is where it becomes a really, really, really big problem. If we run over here to our auction house, you can see I've been using the auction house. I have actually sold some things here. I won't receive them currently, but that is how I've got some rubies. You can buy and sell on the auction house for rubies. It is the only currency you can use on the auction house. Now, that's meant I've been able to get some rubies as a free-to-play player, and that's great and all. But the fact that I can turn diamonds into rubies to use at the auction house means that as long as you're willing to swipe, you can buy whatever the best piece of gear available on the auction house is at all times. So that and the link runes are the two most egregiously, just aggressively unacceptable pay to win things that are in this game. Unfortunately, it means if you have any intention of being competitive, any intention of trying to stay within like some ladder or anything like that, or like be one of the best, you're basically going to have to swipe credit cards. There's absolutely no way around that. Unfortunately, it just is the reality. Now, there is a few things that aren't as bad as people are saying. One of them is the automatic loot pet. So I get this little loot pet guy. He runs around, he loots stuff. You get 8 days of him for free when you start an account. You activate him for 1 day, and then you also get a token very quickly for free, just as part of the progression, that says, here's 7 days worth of your loot pet. So you get to play with him for 8 days. Honestly, after playing for 60 odd hours all the way to endgame, I don't see a way around this. I think you really need the loot pet. Too much stuff drops on the floor, too far away, it'll slow you down way too much, way too inconvenient. The game is basically designed around having this loot pet to auto loot for you. Now, the only reason I think that this is okay is that, and I have absolutely lost where this thing is. While we can, here it is, you can buy the pet ability for essentially $10 a month, or for 28 days, but you can also buy the pet ability for 7 days just for rubies. Now, 150 rubies, not a lot. That is 2 items dropping on the floor that are semi-decent that you sell in the auction house. So I'm not too upset about the pet ability, just because I will be able to find it very, very, very easy to maintain my pet completely free to play. So that bit, the pet part, that's okay. I'm all right with that. Everything else, very much no. Very, very much no. It's even as much as you can buy these Zodiac Walkers and such are all rubies. There are 2 basically battle passes. There are 2 battle passes that you can pick. So if we go, this Zodiac Walker is one of them, which will give you free daily items, faster alchemy, more auction house slots, some free resurrections, all of that sort of stuff. It's not fantastic. There are also some other things we can buy. So we can also buy things like these Stardusts of Oblivions, which are full resets of your Atlas tree. This is great. But you can also do that for gold, which you just acquire in game. Not very expensive. It's fine. Everything here, there's no way you would keep up with the ruby cost of buying all of these things. I'm not going to go through what all of these do because frankly, I don't really understand them well enough to know what they do, but I do understand them well enough to know that I want them all. There's no way you're getting all of your pets and all of these every single day by just free to play. So that's not happening. We're never going to get all of that. Unfortunately, a lot of it there is just egregiously too much money. So, good parts is, so far, I haven't ever hit a paywall while playing. And what I mean by that is, I've been able to complete all content so far without paying any money. I am at $0 spent. So, unlike certain other games, even though there is pay to win here, it isn't throwing it in my face. It isn't trying to open up the menu and tell me about the cash shop every 8 seconds. I haven't suddenly hit a wall where I'm like, oh my God, I need to spend $100. Like, I've just been able to progress. I've just been able to progress and been able to do everything with absolutely no paywall at all. The one and single exception is something that I'm very okay with, which is by the time you get to end game, you will find that your stash tabs, the 2 you get by default, absolutely not enough. The only reason that I have space in these tabs right now is because I've created 2 alternate characters to hold all of this crafting mats. All of these are crafting mats. Crafting in this game is absolutely amazing, but all these crafting mats, not that, I want to keep that. All of these crafting mats, and there are so many of them. You get so many so often that by the time you hit endgame, you are going to have to buy 1 or 2 at least of these specialty stash tabs. This is something you'll be able to get away with for many, many hours. You'll easily be able to pay 20 or 30 hours of this game before needing these. You'll easily get somewhere close to the end game before needing these, but I don't think completely free to play is a viable thing at all in the long term or even in the medium term. By the time you get to end game, you will basically have to buy stash tabs to be able to keep playing the game. The stash tabs are a little more expensive than PoEs. You're probably going to have to spend, it's regional pricing, so this is all roughly, but somewhere between 35 to 45 USD in whatever currency you have, depending on how the localized pricing is gone. We'll get you the 2 stash tabs that you need that take up the most amount of space, which is your essence one, and there's another one. I actually forget which one it is now. It's the essence one and the one that holds these rune things. I actually forget what it's called because I haven't spent a single dollar yet, so I haven't actually bought any of them. But all your rune essences, they may all just fit in the essence tab. They may all just fit in the essence tab, but you're definitely going to need an essence tab 100% of the time. All right, so that's all really good. Experience has been great. Skills, amazing. Absolutely amazing sort of skill passive tree going on here. Very, very similar to what we were shown for PoE 2, where the skills themselves are the things that have the links. I currently have a 5 linked totem, which you can see because it has 5 colors on the outside and 1 side that isn't colored. Now I colored that to be 5 linked. You put it in your tree and you put the supports matching the color that you use for your abilities, and you've got this entire tree to deal with. And when you have something that has supports like these here, if you take any other ability, this is just another ability I bought that I don't use, and you put it somewhere else, the one support that you've got there, if the hexagon thing lines up, can support 2 different skills. And so that's really cool. This whole system is amazing. There is a completely free rune area, so rune and uniques. This is a list of every unique in the game from this compendium, and as you collect them, you can actually store them in here for free and get rewards. I also have the rune compendium here, which I'll just put this one away as well. I've been collecting other runes, which are skills and support gems. And you can see we've got a decent amount of them so far. They all just sit there. You can pull them out whenever, but you also get these collection effects. So as you collect runes and uniques, you get little tiny buffs as you go through everything. Just 2% skill rune drop chance, 2% link rune drop chance, 2%, I don't even know how to say this, but these are loot goblins, right? But they keep coming and they keep coming and they keep coming. Even the ones right down the bottom, not very big, but they all add up quite a bit. So collecting those for free is pretty cool. I would say the only other thing that's quite annoying is how many times 7 or 8 different windows will pop up the top, and you have to like click them and go in here and be like, okay, I want to get these, give me my rewards for completing the thing. Very mobile game-esque thing where you have to go to all the different tabs, click all the different things, receive all of your rewards. It's like a lot. It's a lot. Unfortunately, you can't really get around it. These are all things that you just kind of have to do. So we can come in here, receive our rewards for logging in for the day, come to the next one, get our reward for logging in, go down to the next one. Oh, here's a daily mission, receive our reward for logging in. There's just a lot of windows to go through. They're all free. There are also some paid ones, but all the ones I'm getting are free. But there are a lot of menus there. The menu system, pretty annoying. Just gonna have to get over it. Gameplay, fucking phenomenal. Absolutely loved it. As of the end of this video, I'm gonna be throwing a tiny bit of money at them and getting those tabs, just the stash tabs that I need, and that's it. And then we're going to play through the end game and see how a lot of the end game is. My knowledge so far is that it's somewhat similar to maps in PoE, but I really only just got here, haven't actually experienced it. So we'll make a follow-up video on how the end game is. When we make that video, we are not going to touch monetization at all. I am going to show everybody the very first boss fight that I did in this game that made me excited to keep playing, which was the boss at the end of Act 5. Everything from the end of Act 5 onwards, all the bosses got much harder and were very fun. Absolutely loved them. So we're going to tack that onto the end of this video just so that you can see it. This is like my 17th or 18th attempt at the boss, so I get a little excited. All right, that is it. Overall, my suggestion is you should absolutely play this game unless you're somebody who has trouble managing the amount of money that you spend in a game. If you've been suckered before by mobile games where you've spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars when you didn't intend to, and you just kind of get suckered into it, you should not even download this game or install it. If you have a good amount of control over how much money you spent, you should absolutely install it. You'll get 30, 40, maybe even 50 hours worth of gameplay for free, and then you will have to spend $30 or $40 on some stash tabs if you still like it enough at that point. And then you'll be able to keep playing for free for quite a while. If you're someone who's very important that you're able to be competitive with the absolute top people, and you don't have credit cards to swipe thousands and thousands of dollars on without repercussions, you should also not play, because you will have to if you want to be competitive. All in all, very good distraction from PoE. I'm probably going to play a bunch more of it until the start of the new PoE League. So that is all I have. I will see everybody next time. This is what I was talking about earlier, Midcraft, when I was like, nah, bosses got significantly more complex than the Act 1 bosses you were seeing me fight. Do you slash thing? There it is. All right, is it time? Oh. Okay. Come, buddy. Are we doing it again? Oh, no, we're doing this first. Oh! Ah! Oh! Woo! I'm out! Oh, fuck me. Okay. It's nice to be able to get hit by one thing and not die. I have just enough tankiness to get hit by one thing and not die. I might make this fight doable. For those who didn't see this last time, every single ability in this entire arena one-shot me when I first got here. Every single ability one-shot me. And I was like, well, I guess fuck me. What the fuck? What is that? Holy balls. Woo!
I have to admit, you're certainly a slouch.